I'm here on my third client podcast, I think it is, with Adam Clark. Adam
Good morning.
is a father of two, a loving family man, an adventurer, and actually one of the most positive men that I think I know.
Yeah?
In my category of the thousands of men that I do more, you're definitely up there, mate.
I'll take that.
You're definitely
I'll
up
take
there.
that.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. You?
Amazing. So when we were speaking earlier, I was like, this is just a conversation. We'll call it a podcast, but like I've got a few questions, but it's always easier if I'm just having a conversation with a guy that I like,
Yeah.
a guy that we're both into the same, very similar stuff.
Yeah.
You're a tradesman as well.
Yeah, tradesman.
And I'm an ex-tradesman.
Yes, I remember you saying.
You're a current plumber, right?
Yes, yeah.
I'm an ex-plumber.
There you
We
go.
have a lot to talk about. Hey, first off, what's the best thing about plumbing?
What's the best thing about plumbing? To be honest, doing a good job for a customer and
Yeah.
them leaving you a great review afterwards and
Yes.
being proud of your work.
Yes, I think that the best thing about being a plumber was the fact when you give old people heating. Or people
Yes,
who really
they're
fucking
so
need
grateful
it.
for it.
Yes.
Yes.
What's the worst thing about plumbing?
Working late.
Yeah?
Working late into all hours and things not going right.
Right. For me, it was the monotony. That's what got to me. It was like, because it was kitchen, bathrooms, heating, kitchen, bathroom, heating, kitchen.
Yeah.
But it was very, very monotonous, and it
Yeah.
creatively that kind of stifled me along the way, personally.
Yeah, I'm starting to question it now, to be
Yeah.
fair, and what I really want and what I really value in
Yeah.
life, because I'm questioning lots of things.
There's only so many toilets and boilers you can look at without it.
Absolutely.
It doesn't become much of a challenge anymore.
No,
That's
I
the
know
thing.
what you're saying.
So here's a question for you. How do you feel, straight out, how do you feel you impact the world the most?
I think just a positive outlook on life, to be honest. I have people say to me, which is really weird, since sort of starting with Paul and doing his program and obviously doing the TST with you. I'm around a lot of positive people, but when you're around a lot of sort of maybe friends, family, other people that are quite negative, I feel like just by you being that next level up and just positive and just creating a life you love, that is enough to inspire people. You know, I think that's probably the biggest thing. People say like, I'm very positive, like you said already this morning, and it's sometimes hard to swallow that because it's that ego, isn't it? And it's like, am I? You just try your best, but people have said like I've got this sort of magnetism and radiate, there's energy, and I'll take it, I'll go with it. But that's what I aim for.
But people like positive people. I've found this. We really do. Even if you're a negative person or you have some admiration for positive people, because ultimately you don't set out the day, you don't get up and go, I'm going to be really negative today, I'm going to hate the world. It just, you allow too much influence. You operate from a place of where you view your identity. So what do you think people struggle with the most? Or why do you think people struggle so much to be positive? Like, why is it so hard for people?
I think change is hard because it's doing something new. So I think that's the number one thing I'd say. It's so easy just to stay in your old routine, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the easy choice. Stay doing what you're doing. And a lot of people also don't realise that's a big thing. They don't realise how negative they might come across, and they don't realise they're just stuck in the same rut.
Yes.
And it's that realisation,
Yeah.
I think. That's a huge win, just to realise without even doing any change.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to be like, ooh, maybe I'm not the best version of me and I'd like to do better.
Yeah.
That's a huge step.
I think as well.
And probably the biggest step.
Yeah, definitely. That awareness is massive. I think as well, because I hear this a lot. I'm just stuck in a rut. And when you realise that, that's when you notice, now I need to change. But
Yes.
then the next step becomes very uncomfortable. Then you have to get out of negativity because most people are stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
So when you are, though, you don't feel growth or progress, which ultimately is your happiness, like feeling like you're going somewhere. So if you're stuck in a rut, you become naturally negative. It's easy to be influenced by that, isn't it?
Environment is huge.
Massive.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like just being around people that are further on than you and also people that have already done it is huge.
Yeah.
Like yourself with the plumbing and leaving that and now doing what you're doing now. Like that's inspiration for me because I'm where you used to be. And, there's I think it says about if you're the person in the room with the least knowledge or something like that you're in the right room. I think I've heard you say that was something along those lines.
Yeah, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yes,
that's what
that's
they say.
it. Yeah. So it's about surrounding yourselves with people who are equally as positive as you or have done things that you want or want to be like them.
Absolutely. What would you say is the best experience you've ever had, and what did you learn from it?
Oh, that's a deep question. The best experience.
There might be a few.
Yeah.
But what comes kind of off the top of your head? One of the ones that are up there with like, wow, that was amazing. I'd never done it before, and after I'd done it, I'd learned this about myself or about my own life.
To be honest, it's hanging around with a lot of the people in the alliance that we're in, and doing things like the quarterly events is huge.
Yes.
Like, I would never have thought, oh yeah, let's go on a podcast. Like, I would have just shied away from that before. But now I position it like, oh, I wonder how many people I can impact from it.
Yeah.
So it's doing events for me is one of my favourite things. I've realised what I value. Planning, going away, whether it be with family, whether it be with people. But I mean, the events that we do are amazing. Like, take Scarfell Pike, for instance. That was incredible. So just that as well. And it's also like doing it with other people, like Andy Cheatham, or even to, like, you know, April's daughter Amelie, watching everyone go through the different stages of emotion and their ups and downs through it. I suppose just doing and being and like you said, a bit of an adventurer, doing things for other people and just watching.
I love what you said there, because your best experiences will never come on your own. You'll have great experiences on your own. You'll have great realizations and awareness and key things that will happen, but your best experiences always come with other people, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're in a society now that, unfortunately, we've got a social media mindset, but we're not really even social creatures. Like, we avoid social situations. The amount of people I hear, I've got social anxiety, you know, and they avoid groups of people.
Yeah.
They avoid new people. They avoid new situations and scenarios, which will almost definitely help them grow and experience something new. But the confidence in themselves lowers. But we can blame social media, we can blame upbringing, all kinds of things of that. But
it's comparison, isn't it?
Exactly. But the key thing is people, being around people. And that comparison thing that you've just mentioned, like, you can either use that as, oh, I'm not as good as them, I'll never get there, I'm shit, I'm the worst. Or you can look at it and go, ooh, I'm inspired by that, I wonder how they did it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference in mindset, isn't it? Being around people who maybe have achieved more than you or done things differently, so you can bounce off them, get ideas, be pulled towards them, because they've often carry a different energy.
Yes.
Don't they?
Yeah.
We get that a lot. Like, obviously we hang around with a lot of different people with the circles that we're in. And we understand that now, but it's difficult for people who have never been around people to get that.
I think that is probably one of the biggest changes I've had to make in my life in the last 2 or 3 years, is to push myself and welcome that discomfort and uncertainty, because that's really hard. That's a really hard mindset shift. And like we said before, like, when you recognize I need to change, then the next step is to start doing things that make you feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
And that's where people dip their toe in, like, no, don't like it, I'm out. And that's the bit you've got to break through. But just chunk it like a little bit at a time. Just do one more little thing every day, you know, towards that next step. But yeah, like you say, being around other people is one of the biggest things, including, you know, TST workouts, like this morning, being in a gym around all the other guys. It's just so inspiring.
Yeah, 100%. So, taking things down a different path now, what would you say is the most challenging experience that you've been through? You could call it negative, but I prefer the word challenge. And what did you learn from that?
Most challenging thing. Do you know what? Since I've been doing sort of the mindset work with myself, it's the most challenging thing is sometimes dealing with my own thoughts and questions. Actually, sometimes you tend to overthink.
Yes.
Your mind's then been open to all these new thoughts. And I remember sort of 6 months in being like, oh yeah, I'm learning. And then I hit a bit of a wall where I was like, well, I've not learned everything there is to learn, but I felt there was a bit of a lull. And it's remembering that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and that's okay. And I think the biggest challenge that I struggle with at the minute, and it's going back a bit to what we touched on earlier, was feel like I'm a bit of a crossroads in my life at the moment, where I'm not sure if I do want to continue plumbing and heating, or is there something else now that I want to look into. Like, I'm really enjoying the personal development and impacting other people, and there's a lot going on in my head at the minute, my thoughts and what meanings I'm adding to my thoughts around this. And I think, to be honest, that's my biggest challenge at the minute. It's just dealing with my own thoughts, which sounds insane, because you'd think it'd be something external, or, oh, I did this, but actually it's just dealing with everyday life.
Well, you're right, because the biggest challenge is always internal. It's the battle of the ego, mostly. That's what it is. It's, I should be doing this. Why aren't I happy doing that?
Yes.
Other people will look and say, well, you've got a secure job or business, you've got a pension, you've got, the security, you've got the life that, people look from the outside and think, well, I would like that. It's stability, it's consistency. But when you become growth-minded, like you are now in the process, and we're all in the process of becoming, it changes. You don't know longer. Then you don't want just stability and security.
It might look great on the outside, but they're not seeing what's on your inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, it's that sort of, we call it a plateau. But ultimately, it's a bit of a myth. Like, plateau is basically you're just getting slowly worse. You just don't like to admit it.
Yes.
Because you're either getting better or you're getting worse.
Yeah, I like
Staying
that.
the same is just like,
it's hard to hear though, right?
It is though, because
Yeah.
again, that's the ego, isn't it? The ego goes, no, I'm doing all right, better than most, and often we are, but
which
unless,
is okay. But you're comparing it to yourself.
Yes,
you might be going
unless
down.
we're moving somewhere towards something. We've got something that inspires us, pulls us, what we want to get to. Not think we have to go there. What we want to get to, again, different mindset. Then it's easy to let your own thoughts overcome.
Absolutely.
Right?
I think it's really hard because I've been struggling with that, as I say. That's been challenging recently. And again, that's another thing. The language you use is so important. I've realised that over the last couple of years. Like you say, challenge over negativity, for example. But it's difficult to position it in your head. And I spoke to someone recently, and they were like, "Well, have you actually seen this as an opportunity or a gift?" And it's like, oh, that's a whole total different way to position this. But it's the same thing. But I've just changed how I feel, just like that. And that was really strange to experience, because I know this, but we need reminding of it all the time.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the sea this morning, weren't we? When
Yes.
you were talking about seeing the gift, seeing the opportunity. Like,
Yeah.
both words are great, but which speaks to you more? That's the power in language, right? It's like, do I have to do this, or do I get to do this?
Yeah.
Do I need
Get to was a huge change for me.
massive?
Yeah.
Massive.
I started using that for my check-ins. Especially, it feels so weird to say I get to do, and it's something you don't really want to do. I get to invoice my clients today.
Yeah.
But really thinking, why do I get to do this? But it's weird, isn't it? How we use, I get to go to, I get to go out for a meal later. I get to go on a date. I get to go on whatever.
Some people don't have that. Some people don't have the ability to do that.
But then it's like using the phrase "I get to" for the perceived negative things is very, very weird. But again, language.
Speaking of weird,
to see.
Speaking of weird, what's the weirdest situation you've ever been in?
Oh, these are some tough questions, Luke.
This you can, if it is appropriate to say.
I don't know, the weirdest situation. I suppose the only thing that comes to mind is difficult situations, where I have to sort of push myself. That only springs to mind. I can't think what the weirdest situation I've been in. I suppose it'd be things like, back a few years ago, it'd be things like doing a podcast. It's been thrown into that deep, like in your head, this deep well, and it's like I can't get out. But it's actually a choice, and it's just positioning it. But I can't think of the weirdest thing. But
it's not an easy question.
No, I need prep work for that one.
Yeah.
But no, I'll keep thinking. But I suppose anything weird would be doing things that is out of the ordinary. So things like, going and doing sea dips and things like this. I've been in the sea, for years.
So some people, that is like next level crazy. People think you're actually insane.
This is what I mean. It's what meaning you add into weird, know, and people go, oh, you're mental for doing that. You're crazy. You're insane. And then I'm like, well, am I, or are you the insane one for not doing it?
Yeah.
Because, we got to see this morning, I was primed.
Yeah.
It was like you say, it was like having loads of coffee.
I know. It lights you up, right?
I've worked out and I've been in the sea and I feel buzzing. You feel the energy in your body.
It's power in a morning routine. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go there because you've been part of my TST now for several months. You train online on Zoom from home with a set of kettlebells, often with your partner, April.
Yeah.
So you do it together, sometimes on your own.
Epic.
Yeah, awesome. Tell me about the morning routine and how that's positively impacted you from getting the fitness done.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. Some days, for example, not so much now, because again, it's that accountability and it's building a routine. But when I first started the TST, probably like 4 or 5 months ago now, it's easier just to say, I'll catch up. And obviously you have this phrase, it's better to keep up than catch up. And I do catch up, to be fair, because I'm in that place. But I know for a fact, for example, on a Sunday morning, if I don't get up at 6, 7 o'clock and lay until 10, feels like half the day's gone.
Yeah.
And I'll get up and it'll be sort of a lazy start. I won't do what I normally do, and I just don't feel as good. It's weird, isn't it? So I get up, the alarm goes off on a regular day of TST morning routine. I would get up now and I'll do a meditation, which again, two years ago, that was insane to meditate, but it makes me feel great.
Yes.
I can't wait to meditate.
Yeah.
And then, with TST, a cold shower afterwards.
Yeah.
But get up, do it. And you never feel like doing it, or rarely feel like doing it, but you know the benefit it's going to have afterwards. and I feel epic. And it's like, well, you've done the hardest bit of your day already.
Yeah.
So then cold shower, usually if I'm around April's, go out for a dog walk and fill my journal out.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it doesn't have to be hard.
And then how does the rest of the day go as a result
Well,
of that?
you've done the hardest thing, so everything else is easy. You know, you've worked out, you've pushed yourself, and I don't know what it is. You probably explain it more, but within your body, you just feel this energy. You know, this positive energy just going around your body. Especially after cold showering, or sea dip directly after a workout. I remember you said like a few weeks ago when I came, have you ever done a sea dip directly after a workout? I was like, no. And you were like, you're in for a treat. Yeah, you came out the sea and you're absolutely buzzing.
It's a concoction.
But a morning routine is huge. I'd say the biggest things for me are the shift between having to do stuff or doing it when you're not really, like when I started journeying, I started meditating, it was new, so I was just trying something for the first time, and that was weird to show up to do something you were being told to do.
Yes.
Now I can see the benefits in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I try and journal as soon as I can.
Yes.
Because it's like, or meditate, one of the two. I'd quite like to do that discipline meditation because it's focusing my attention straight on how I want to feel.
Yes.
Because if not, like 90% of your thoughts are going to be negative because I think it's your body being in that protective mode, trying to be like, okay, well, what threats might come up today? Whereas I want to be thinking positively straight away. So I either journal, meditate, and then cold shower. I love. I'm really enjoying them now. I know when I've not had a cold shower. It's weird because I just don't have that buzz.
You miss that cold. For sure.
And the sea dips are epic, and then you just set up for the day, right? Yeah.
I love what you said there about being told what to do at the start, because that's hard for a lot of men, right?
It is.
And
men really struggle.
Yes, but it's because of ego. Our ego's out of control mostly. We want to be right. We don't want to look stupid. We're set in our ways. We're stubborn, But the thing is, at the start of new lifestyle, at the start of new healthy habits, especially if you're not brought up that way, if you're not shown, you have to be shown what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and you have to be told to do it first. And this is where people have this confliction because they find, I need to kick up the arse, is what I hear all the time.
Yes.
I need to kick up the arse. And they appreciate that at the start and they're glad they did it. But after a while,
when it starts getting hard.
It starts getting hard after a while when you always kicked up the arse. It needs to get that time, like you said, where you don't obviously you've got to be told what to do, but then eventually it needs to get to the point where you want to do it.
Yes.
And you get to do it.
And I'm there now.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a change. And it's hard. And another thing I'll go back to is environment. I feel like I have a most wonderful family, so by no means am I going to slag them off, but they don't understand because they're not at the place I am why I do some of what I do.
Yeah.
So they don't understand why I potentially go to bed. It gets to 9 o'clock and I'm thinking, I might go to bed. I'm getting up at 5:45 to make sure I can meditate before TST.
Mate, as an adult, nothing happens that can't be caught up on the next day after 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Nothing happens after 9 o'clock.
I remember you saying that, and I've said this to April as well. I'm like, we could just sit and watch TV for another hour, but is that really going to serve us?
Yeah,
and I'm
could
like,
just do it the next day.
Yeah.
The next early evening.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realise that extra hour in bed, what it's going to do for you physically, mentally, and emotionally. Mm-hmm. Like, the next day, it will literally change your entire world.
I can feel it now, so I know when I need to catch up. So if I've had a few late nights, I say late nights as in 7 hours sleep maybe.
Yeah.
But for me, that's not enough. So if I have a few nights at 7 hours, I know I'm going to be drained because I'm full on. Like it takes energy to be positive.
Yeah.
It doesn't drain you like it does to be negative all the time. But it still takes a lot of energy out of you.
Yeah. By 9 o'clock, I'm wanting to knock out the Zeds.
Last night, 7:45, I was in bed, and it felt
rock
weird.
And roll, man. Rock and roll.
But I knew I was up at 5:15 to meditate, work out, sea dip, podcast.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be on it.
Like when you're in your 20s and your teens, like staying up till 6 in the morning, drinking, sniffing, like I used to do. That was like a badge of honor. Now it's a badge of fucking honor to get to bed at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, I go to bed early. Hang on, it's nearly bedtime. I'm proud of that. I would wear that as like I go to bed at 9 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, you boring old cunt. You get all that from your mates and
Absolutely.
that. Oh, what are you doing? Like, because obviously parties start at 11 and all that. And I'm like, look, my health is my wealth. My movement is my medicine. I want to get up in a positive state. I want to sleep well and rest well. Sleep when you're dead. Hustle, bullshit. Busy is a badge. I'm so busy I can't even sleep. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid and it's temporary shit, right?
Yes.
You will burn out.
You will.
This is where most people go wrong.
You will.
Here's a question for you. What's your most proud achievement?
A few things actually come up with that. One of which would be the TST because it's the first thing I've ever really done for my body.
Nice.
Because of the TST, I'm now again wanting to look at my calorie intake and wanting to get my protein up.
Love it.
And it's the first time, and you've just made it so easy. I'm going to be honest
Nice.
with the protein thing, as I wasn't really counting calories, and I'm not really, because I don't need to lose weight.
Yeah.
But you were just, I've never heard in all my life so far anyone mentioning protein intake, and
Nice.
it's weird.
Good.
So that's one of the things, and I'm noticing a difference in my body, as in my strength levels, my fitness levels, and I like the way I look.
Yeah.
Which then makes me feel good.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's a knock-on effect. So that I'm going to go there. It's a bit lovey-dovey, but I've met April through being the best version of me, and I was in a long sort of 15-year relationship that ended, and I did a lot of work on myself, sort of over 2 years, and I wasn't actually going out there to meet anybody, and I just happened to meet April because I'd found who I really was, and I was sort of myself within my, who I was meant to be,
Nice.
rather than trying to be someone else for everybody else, which is tiring, by the way.
Yes.
And lastly, I'm going to say my kids as well, like to impact my children, show them, don't tell them.
Yes.
Which I absolutely love. So many people can lecture, but then if you and again, they don't like it, you turn the mirror the other way, and it's like, well, they're only doing that because you're doing that. And it's when you say that, they get really defensive because they know it's true.
Yeah.
So they'd probably be my biggest ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing. So backtracking a little bit, because we've talked about where you are now, the kind of journey, what we've been doing, what we do. Before you started like TST and training on a morning with myself, before you started with Paul, and growth and journaling and meditation, what would you say were your biggest struggles at those points before you started this growth journey?
Well, alcohol was probably a big part of it.
Okay, tell me about that.
So I never really used to drink when I was younger, which was funny. And then I think it was not being truly happy in the relationship that I was in. And I didn't really know how to think, how to feel, how I was supposed to feel or think. And I think we moved to a village that was quite a heavily sort of drinking village as well, which didn't help.
Yeah.
And I think I used to just drink. And it wasn't to excess, but again, perception on everyone's levels.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say anywhere near alcoholic levels, but probably more than most. I don't know. But that had a huge impact on me, and now I choose not to drink just because it doesn't serve me. And I realise, the difference between, I can see and feel the difference.
Yes.
And yeah, okay, sometimes I think, it'd be nice to have a glass of wine, or it'd be nice to have a beer, and you never wake up that next day thinking, I wish I would have had that glass of wine or that beer. So alcohol's a big one for me, but that's a choice obviously I made, mostly to impact my kids.
Yeah.
And it was because the reason I stopped, on the day I stopped, we were actually on holiday in Morocco, which was a weird time to stop drinking on holiday.
Okay.
And I just had a couple of shandies, 2-3 shandies by the pool in the morning, and I just felt like I needed a nap. And my kids are in the pool, and it was like a massive eye-opener, like someone had just flicked a switch. And I'm going, wow, why do I feel like this? Why am I doing this to myself? My kids are there, and from that minute, that was December 22. I've not drank since then.
Nice.
So that's a huge one for me.
Huge, man. Huge.
What was the question? Sorry again.
Yeah, that was it. Biggest struggles before you joined like the whole growth.
Yeah, alcohol and just existing. Every day was the same.
Yeah.
I'm not creating anything. I'm just surviving. I'm just existing. I used to use that phrase all the time. Like when I first started doing the personal development, I'm just existing.
Yes. So I would take two things from what you just said there. You had no sense of direction toward growth, that is.
Yes.
Again, you're stuck in a rut.
Didn't know it existed, really.
And you were drinking alcohol too frequently, too much, to wrong levels.
Yeah.
And those two mixture are many people, many men especially, in their 30s and beyond, hit this trap. In your 20s, it's fine because you're a superhero. You're there to party. But you hit 30 and beyond, your mind changes, doesn't it? You start to think about health.
Yeah.
You start to think about finances and business.
But also,
or
you're not doing
work.
those things by choosing that lifestyle. You're not doing the simple things like hydration and sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not even like you're, getting great sleep, hydration, but then drinking. Yeah. But then being like, it's 9 o'clock, got to go to bed.
Yeah.
You go to bed at 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
And not think anything of it.
No.
Yeah, but then we don't realise that...
So you're neglecting as well as do it, it's a double-edged sword.
But the cool thing you said about that was when you were on holiday, the kind of penny dropped when you saw your kids and you wanted to go to sleep and you realised the impact you were having on them.
Who, not how, yeah.
You were making it more than just about you. And I think that's why most men don't think about their choices, because they're just thinking about themselves. Well, it doesn't impact anybody else, so why should I bother?
Well,
what's
it's
the point?
scary, like to put yourself out there and hold yourself accountable. That's another huge thing, the accountability factor. To say I'm going to do this and like say publicly declare it or do it for somebody else, like your kids, it makes it bigger. It makes that a bigger why. And I think that's the inspiration you need.
Yeah,
Again,
absolutely.
it's like the podcast today with you. It's like, well, yeah, I could say no, I'm not going to do that, but one, I want to do it. It's a gift, and two, if something I've said has impacted somebody else, then brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Always bring other people in. You'll be far more motivated. So, question for you. What's been the best thing about TST so far for you? Because I know it's had a great positive impact on your life. What's been the best thing so far, do you think?
It gives me the accountability to get up. I've been saying for 6 months, and you can look in my journals from middle of last, probably from the middle to the end of last year. I wanted to start getting up at 6 o'clock, and it's easier not to. I can still get up at 7 and still do my cold shower, my journal, meditation, but I wanted to get that extra little bit in.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was getting up at 7, but I wasn't doing fitness in that.
Yeah.
So it was like I was getting home from a day at work, long day at work potentially, and I hadn't worked out, and I'm looking at my steps counter, or I'm thinking I really should go for a jog tonight, and I'm like, I've now got to do that, so that's not eating into my evening. Whereas, like we said, it gets you up and out of bed because you want to show up for other people,
Yes.
making it bigger than yourself.
Yes.
And again, I really love working out with April together because it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
We have a laugh together in the mornings.
Yeah, yeah.
We're laughing at 6:10 working out together. Like, how cool is that? Do you know what I mean? And it's the like you say, I love the fact you call it TST family as well, because it does feel that way.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's probably the biggest thing, getting me up and getting out of bed. But it's a knock-on effect of lots of things, because then you've worked out, you're not going to go and make yourself a bacon sandwich unless it's a treat. You're going to be like, all right, I'm going to have eggs, or I'm going to have a protein yogurt, so you're then conscious of your nutrition and you're conscious of your hydration. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
To lots of different things, and then the little mindset chunks you give us in the morning, take that through to your day, so lots of different things, to be fair, and the way I look and feel.
Yeah.
So I could reel off quite a lot.
Yeah, I like
TST's been a lot. It's made a big difference to lots of different areas.
I like it. I love how you mentioned about the fact of getting up earlier and just what that does to the rest of your day. You never regret getting up early, but you often regret going to bed too late.
Yeah.
There's a big difference there.
And like I said, on a Sunday when I don't get up,
yeah,
you're like, well, it's 10 o'clock now and I've done nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a waste. Yesterday, I would have been at work 2 hours. I've worked out, meditated, journaled, done cold water, and I feel epic.
Yeah.
I've had longer sleep. Okay, and I'm thankful for I probably had longer sleep, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that buzz inside.
Nice. I love it. So one more question on TST. What would you say to people who are maybe on the fence about joining? Because I know you work online. Obviously, we've got a private gym here in South Shields, but you come online. Where is it you live again?
Well, I'm pushing more to live near April in Stratford upon Avon, but Peterborough, Stratford upon Avon.
So you're quite away from
about
South
4 hours
Shields.
from here.
Yeah, you're 4 hours away from a gym, our gym, the gym that you train with.
Yes.
But you were able to do it online, which is amazing.
It's easy.
And anybody watching this can join wherever they're at. So what would you say to the people who are kind of on the fence, like, I'd love to do something like that, but I just don't know?
I mean, it goes back to what I said before about just pushing through that challenge of the mindset, being like, oh, I just don't know. The thing is, you do know. It's just that push to just try it, and just try it, and you won't regret it.
Yeah.
You say you never regret the ones you do. What's the thing? And you try it, and it goes on for a few. You try it, say in your mind, or hold yourself accountable. Even better, I'm going to do it for 2 weeks, and then you show up and do it for 2 weeks. You're never going to go back.
Yeah.
You're never going to go back because of the feeling you get from it.
Yeah.
And if you do choose to go back, you'll come back again.
Yeah.
Because people just show up because they want to feel great in the mornings.
Yeah.
So basically, just do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Feel great. That's the goal.
Ultimately, yeah. Like, going back to the last question, I mean, literally, it's a knock-on effect to everything. Like what I reeled off about hydration, nutrition. You want to do that because you've worked out. So I would say, like you've said before, there's nothing more important than your health.
Yeah.
So look after it, because most people, you've done a calculation before on amount of time that you get in your life and in your weeks and etc. And it's like, you're working out for, if you do it on the Zoom, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, it's 4 hours. I mean, it's not even that, 'cause it's 50-minute sessions, but it's 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, out of the hours in the week, can you not spare that just to inspire yourself and get fitter and healthier?
100%.
It's a no-brainer. Can you afford not to do it? I would say.
Exactly. Love it. Oddly, you know, when you say there's nothing more important than your health, I fully agree with that. Some guy commented on a YouTube video a few days ago saying, oh, well, it's second on the list of priorities for us, finances first. Financial targets are first, then health. And I'm thinking, well, how does that work? Like, so what if, how can you enjoy that money if your health's fucked? So you put all your focus, and this is where most people go wrong, I think, especially men. Everything into money, make money, wait till I retire, then I'll look after myself.
Absolutely.
Like, money's the highest thing. Work money, money, that's it. And
that's what they've been taught, though.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly. But it's super important, don't get me wrong, it lubricates your life. It's a freedom to more open doors and choices, and it's super important, and it's paramount to having a masculine purpose as well, usually. But health is wealth. Movement is medicine.
Absolutely. That movement is medicine is huge for me.
Enormous.
Because I know someone asked you in one of your podcasts, what would you get tattooed or something? And you were like, I'd have that.
Yeah.
And that's been so helpful for me.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you that question. If you had to get a word or a phrase tattooed on you, what would you get?
Ooh. Well, other than movement is medicine, which I love, I would say, I like the phrase you put online the other day about who... if not, who? I'm just saying who, not how, but it's not that. it's not that one. It's the one. Why not me, and why not now?
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Why not me? Why not now? I love it. Class, man. All right, we're gonna finish this off with some quick fire stuff. One word or one sentence. Quick fire. You go, I go. All right. So, greatest movie.
Oh. This isn't very quick fire, is it? I don't know why Die Hard came up.
Oh, really?
All right, okay.
I do like that. I would say Terminator 2 for me. Well, both obviously action. Worst movie?
Oh, worst movie. Oh, I don't watch a lot of films, if I'm honest.
All right, really?
No, I don't watch a lot of films.
What's the worst movie that you've seen then? Or that comes to mind?
Really scanning my brain now. These weird questions and the movies questions. I don't know. You know.
I'm probably gonna have to go with the one I was most disappointed with recently, which is Halloween Ends.
I'm not a fan of horror stuff. I'm not a fan of horror stuff.
Greatest band or performer?
Ooh. I mean, Slash comes to mind. I do like Slash.
Guns N' Roses?
Yeah. I've seen Slash and Miles Kennedy a few times.
Nice.
Yeah, so anything with a catchy guitar riff or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would say Iron Maiden.
I'm quite into Volbeat as well.
Nice, I like
that.
But
I like so much music. It's huge. I like loads of different types of music.
What about worst band or performer? Have you got one?
Ooh, I'm not... Well, it's not performer, but I mean... House music and stuff like that is not my bag. That's not my bag at all.
Yeah, I'll probably say rave for me.
Yeah,
rave. Knees up.
Yeah, maybe that's why I dislike Drill Sergeant.
A little bit of an insider joke there on TST. Greatest drink?
Oh, greatest drink. I do like a coffee now.
Same.
I do like
coffee.
Yeah,
specialty coffee.
A vanilla latte.
Nice.
Yeah.
Worst drink?
Well, alcohol now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say ginger ale. Actually, I fucking hate that stuff.
I don't mind ginger beer. Ginger ale's horrible.
They're both ginger beer, anything ginger related.
I was gonna say,
if you have ginger in food but not drink, definitely not. What's your best exercise? Best exercise. Tell you what, let's go bodyweight exercise. Best bodyweight exercise.
I'm beginning to love a burpee, now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually just leaning into them difficult ones. So I'm not a fan of high knees is not cool, but that's less body weight. But burpees and just doing things I find hard. That Turkish get-up's quite interesting.
Yeah, okay, so the next one, what would be your favourite weighted exercise?
Ooh.
Be a kettlebell, barbell, dumbbell.
I mean, I only really do the kettlebells, but anything that's working, to be honest, my shoulders and stuff, because I've never really worked my shoulders or lower back. So when I can feel that ache in my shoulders and lower back, it's like, I'm working something that's never been worked before. Nice. So that makes me feel good.
Nice. I would say push-up, probably my favourite exercise. If I could only do one push-up, I think push-up's very underrated.
Yeah.
Back squat for a weighted exercise.
I've not really done many back squats.
Back squats or goblet squats with a kettlebell.
Yeah. Yes, we did them this morning. Yeah. It was quite good. Yeah.
Definitely those two.
I did enjoy that this morning. Actually, it was nice to be in the gym because it's different because you're doing the the accumulation of the weights. So I was getting up to doing like 216s.
Yeah.
So that was nice to push myself onto that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did enjoy that.
Amazing.
All of it, to be honest. I love doing, my favourite exercises to do in TST are the ones where I don't know what's coming. Because I can't think. So the Jenga and the deck of cards, I don't mind that.
That's the power in having a fitness coach
Yeah.
or a PT is you don't have to think about it.
No.
Just showing up, right, what we're doing, okay, we'll do that. It's the brain can only make so many decisions. If you're not experienced in fitness or weights or personal training, you go to the gym and you just end up doing 20 minutes on the cross trainer, a couple of bicep curls.
I've never liked the gym.
Yeah,
I've
and
never
you just get bored. You get little results because you're never pushed to do the right things, the hard things, and to do them right.
There's been twice in life I've joined a gym. I think I've been 2 or 3 times and I've paid for the year. And it's like, I just won't get out of bed and go and do it. And in an evening, I don't want to go to gym.
Yeah.
But I love the TST because you can just roll out of bed and you're straight onto it and it's easy. And yeah, I say my favourite ones are the ones I don't know what's coming next.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I can't overthink it.
That's true. That's true. Get someone else to make the plan. It's always easier.
Yeah.
Adam, this has been amazing, mate. Where can people find out more about you, about your journey? Because obviously I think you're going to go in a totally different direction eventually.
Yes.
When you've went through this crossroads.
Well, the plan is to start coaching, inspiring other people and helping other people as much as I can.
I think you're perfect for it.
To find that.
Perfect for it.
Appreciate that.
Perfect
so
for it.
Facebook at the minute. I don't do much on Instagram, but I've got an Instagram. Mostly would be Facebook at the moment.
Yeah. What's your Instagram handle?
Adam P. Clark.
And Facebook's just Adam Clark.
It would be, Adam Clark, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you for having me on. Really appreciate it.
We'll see you soon.
Will do.
If you'd like to learn how to create outstanding levels of energy, motivation, and self-control, my second book, Supercharged, the modern day guide to doing exactly that, is out now.